Welcome to the worst VR news show on the internet. My name is Panda. No intro, let's just get right into it. Valve completed a game before Half-Life Alyx that was completely finished and completely ready to release before it got cancelled, rewritten, and then eventually released as Half-Life Alyx. Now, just to be clear, this wasn't just a draft of Half-Life Alyx, it was a completed full game with a story that looked nothing like the story in Half-Life Alyx. Everyone at Valve tested the game and absolutely loved it, but all of them said that the story itself was pretty bad. So with a few months left before trying to ship the game with the Valve Index, they got new writers to come on and remake the game's story, and I'm sure glad they did because the game we got was amazing. If you want to hear the full plot and story behind this game, go check out Tyler McVicker's video on it. He did all of the research on it and deserves all of the recognition for deciphering the plot of this game from leaked files and other stuff. Essentially, the story starts with Eli Vance selling out to the Combine and taking responsibility for the Resonance Cascade, the thing that happened in the first Half-Life. And then the Combine came to Earth and everything else. He took full responsibility for all of that for some reason. I'm not sure how that makes any sense, but you know what, whatever, let's go with it. The main antagonist is a new character called Han, who for some reason was made super thick by the developers. Anyway, she has a disagreement with Eli, and as the story unfolds, Alyx has to now go save him from Han, who is holding him captive despite him being on their side or something. I don't know. As you can tell, the plot wasn't very good at all. There's a lot more to it that's explained in Tyler McVicker's video, and he plans on making more videos talking more in depth about it, I believe. So definitely go subscribe to him and go check it out. I'd love to be able to try this game at some point, but knowing Valve, they'll keep it locked up forever. The next big news is a Sword Art Online replica made by YouTuber Jason E. His videos are absolutely hilarious, and I definitely recommend you go check them out if you haven't. But essentially, he started making an SAO replica in November of last year. He didn't do much with it after his initial video about it, but recently he started posting more videos about it as he develops the game further. Now, just to be clear, this game is far from a finished product. It seems to have started as a meme for him, and then he went on to continue to work on it, and you know, what he has right now looks really awesome, and you can download it to try on pretty much any Quest headset. So far, he has a sword and bow that you can use to attack a few enemies in a world that looks styled after Sword Art Online, and it looks amazing. Definitely subscribe to him to see how far he can get with his game. I'd love to see this fleshed out further to become a full Sword Art Online experience, and I'm just really looking forward to it. I believe the next feature he plans on adding has something to do with microwaves and a logout button, so that's exciting. Green Hell has released their first teaser trailer, and it looks amazing. I've been looking forward to this game for a long time because I love survival games. Green Hell is a survival game very similar to The Forest, except the main difference is that it looks like it might actually be able to run at a decent frame rate in VR. The game is set to release in Q3 of this year, with the Quest version releasing in Q4. If you enjoy nasty looking wounds, wrapping yourselves in leaves, and fighting my weird cousin, then definitely check this game out. If you like the RPG tabletop games like Demeo and just other RPG games, Dungeons & Dragons, you'll definitely be interested in Dungeon Full Dive, which is currently on Kickstarter. It aims to be the most immersive tabletop simulator ever. You become whatever character you choose. You can choose characteristics about them and change them. You dive into worlds instead of just talking about them, so you can actually experience them instead of just looking at it from above. You become your character piece for certain parts of combat and much more. They're trying to make it, like I said, the most immersive tabletop simulator ever, and it sounds amazing. It's fairly different from Demeo in that it really allows you more freedom to make choices about you and what you want to do and who you want to be. Whereas Demeo is more of a set experience with a set of static characters that you can choose from. You can check out their Kickstarter in the link in the description, and I definitely recommend checking it out and supporting them if you can. It looks like it's going to be really fun. Roblox may soon be coming to the Quest, as the company's CEO says it makes perfect sense for the Quest platform. This is really all there is to this story. This doesn't mean we'll actually see a Roblox Quest game anytime soon, though I will say I'll take a Minecraft port to the Quest over Roblox any day. Not to be mean to any Roblox fans, I'm sure it's a fantastic game, but to me the game looks like someone took Legos and mixed it with the spawn of Satan, so I'm in no hurry to see that coming to the Quest. Painting VR is a new art experience available on Quest on App Lab. This allows you to paint with unlimited amounts of fresh paint on a realistic looking canvas. There's no undo button, but you know, it's just because it's trying to be a realistic painting simulator. You can't undo paint in real life. So anyways, looks great for me because instead of having to burn my art, which is a lot of work, having to like start a fire, burn it, and then the fire station shows up and they're like, why are you burning your art? I can just delete the game to make sure no one sees my bad attempts at making homemade hentai. It's so much more convenient. Researchers at Intel have found a way to create photorealistic graphics in GTA 5 using a new method that combines game graphics with photos and images from a massive data set of pictures. This method is still too slow for actual gameplay, running at only 2 frames per second with an RTX 3090, but hey, that's better than when I try to do Minecraft in VR with shaders. That said, it's still a massive step in improving game and eventually VR game graphics as well. If you're mad that you couldn't get a new graphics card, well, at least now you know that some of them are being put to good use playing an 8-year-old game. An app that uses a similar approach to what I just described with the GTA thing is called Blue Planet, which released for PSVR last year. It's now coming to the Oculus Quest pretty soon, and it lets you explore 40 real-world locations in VR. This experience doesn't use like 360-degree images like what you'd get on YouTube, but instead it uses 3D environments digitally recreated using photogrammetry, which essentially combines 3D assets with real-world images to get a more realistic graphical image. Anyways, this looks like it'll be really, really awesome and fun because when I want to escape into the metaverse, I want nothing more than to go into a real place in the real world that looks like it does in real life. Can I make my bedroom with photogrammetry? I'd love to do that. That'd be peak immersion, especially if you could find a way to add a sense of impending doom and boredom. In case you haven't heard because you've been living under a rock, Vive announced 2 new headsets at ViveCon last week. One of them is an enterprise standalone headset and the other is a gamer-focused Vive Pro 2. Neither of them come with eye tracking, which was a huge complaint for many people since that is what they were hoping to see in the next generation of headsets. The reason the headsets don't already include eye tracking is because Vive decided that they'd rather offer eye tracking as an add-on for an extra $300. This is kind of ridiculous considering that Vive already has a headset with built-in eye tracking that's several years old. I'm not really sure what else HTC can do to piss off consumers, but they're really being innovative, at least in that respect. On the other hand, news about Sony's new headset also leaked if you also are still living under a rock, so kind of old news by now, but I'll quickly cover it for you. Sony's new headset will have a resolution of 4000 by 2040 or 2000 by 2040 per eye, which puts it right above the Quest and right below the Reverb G2 in terms of megapixels per eye. It will have lens separation dials, which I assume is the same thing as an IPD adjustment, I don't know. And the headset itself will have a motor that developers can use to give haptic feedback. And the controllers look pretty sweet and will have the same resistance style triggers that the PS5 controllers have. It's rumored that it will have eye tracking for foveated rendering, which could easily make it one of the best headsets on the market and definitely something to keep an eye on. And then lastly, SteamVR just added 2 really cool features to SteamVR. The first is a field of view adjustment that works similar to foveated rendering. Essentially, you can choose to lower your field of view, thereby concentrating your processing power on the center of the screen and creating a smaller image. This will be useful for potato gamers who want to, try and run VR on something that's not meant to run VR. The other feature allows you to override the world scale. This basically lets you change the perceived scale of the virtual world, making the world bigger or smaller in relation to you. Valve suggests it as an accessibility feature to help short people reach some tall places, or plenty of other applications for it as well. This could theoretically be used to cheat in multiplayer games, so don't be surprised if the next time you jump into Pavlov you see a bunch of midgets running around making it harder for you to shoot them. And that's it for this week's VR news. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to stay up to date on the VR news and my horrible opinions. I want to thank my YouTube members for helping me to make this possible. You all are amazing. But anyways, that's it. I'm out.